Good day. Pleasant day to y'all. Today is Tuesday, the 26th of May. It's Elemental 268, Simmer your Wadadley representative. And we are going to jump right into it, starting with some local news. Well, amongst the COVID 19 pandemic, a local meeting will be held today in Antigua and Barbuda with government, employers, and trade unions to discuss unemployment due to the COVID 19 situation. All right, one of the topics being discussed will be severance, as there's a lot of workers that are out of work and are eligible for severance. This is brought to light by the Antigua's Workers Union. Okay, that's one of the things that they expect to discuss today. The hoteliers are also, well, what they believe will be discussed is the hoteliers will be bringing forth their ideas for new laws surrounding such situations and how, I guess, employees and employers will be protected likewise. Okay, so we look forward to the information from that meeting today. I know there's a lot of persons that are waiting on answers for questions that they may have, and hopefully, some of those questions will be answered following this meeting being held today. All right. You would have remembered in a previous video I had mentioned that some individuals were involved in an armed robbery out in Param. Well, those two individuals have since been arrested and charged, and I will keep you updated in those developments. Outside of that, the country is slowly reopening as many other countries around the world are doing. So I will keep you updated in that regard. As of now, we are still under curfew from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. And most businesses around town in St. John's and so forth have extended some hours. Most were open until like 4 or 5 o'clock. Barbershops and salons and so on are now going a little later to 7 to 8, So we're slowly reopening. However, I do ask that everyone remember to do the social distancing and wear the proper masks, certified masks, not pieces of cloth and t-shirts and bandanas around the face. The government has no longer allowed the use of such items. Okay, so you need a proper mask and just remember the social distancing. Okay. And moving right into some regional news and then by extension internationally. Is that regionally we have Vybz Kartel set to release another album. As you know, he released Tutanisha in January. The release date has, it does say here it should be around Friday, June the 26th. Okay, the album is called Dons and Divas, and the Portmore DJ announced this project earlier in the year, and the last 2 weeks saw the entertainer upload many posts via Instagram in regards to the LP. Okay, so highly anticipated. We can definitely wait on that. I know there's some collaborations that we will be looking forward to, such as Skilly Bang, I believe he's supposed to collaborate, and also Tommy has a new track to release. Alright, right along we had Beenie Man versus Bounty Killer on Saturday evening. I must say that was very, very, very entertaining. Alright, and there's just a few pointers that I wanted to make during this battle that I noticed, things that I observed. There was a lot of counteractions. Overall, I don't know if I can give a final verdict on this clash to say, well, okay, Beenie Man won or Bounty Killer won, etc. However, I will say there were some good counteractions by Bounty Killer. Beenie Man did some tracks that I thought were kind of predictable and were easily counteracted, especially those 90s songs like Memories and, like Bounty just jumped right into it, counteracted them right away. The features and collaborations with the hip hop artists and R&B artists were very good. I was surprised with a few of them. I totally forgot that Bounty Killer had collaborated with Swiss Beats and so forth. Of course, we got the regular tracks, the Beenie Man with Maya, Sim Sim remix, Fuji's with Bounty Killer, Hip Hopera, Gorilla Black featuring Beenie Man, Compton. Just to mention quickly, I do believe Beenie Man should have played the original Sim Sim as opposed to that remix with Maya. However, I'm sure he's thinking of the international impact, the commercial side of things, how much persons are logged in on a worldwide scale. So therefore, he chose that particular track with Maya. But and again, produced by Neptunes, I believe. So good luck, good luck. But then it was very amazing to see the police running during their performance. I'm not sure what that was about. If it was about to shut it down, if it was about social distancing. I did notice most persons that were on that set, they didn't have masks on and that kind of thing. So I'm not sure what sparked the police to want to intervene during such memorable performance. You know what I mean? And I mean, two icons at work. What could have been the reason for you to come during their performance to disrupt it? So as them say, and your holiness, have a look into that. You understand? So yeah, it was sponsored by Ciroc. It was good to see Beenie Man customize rum and Red Bull to Ciroc and Red Bull, and he turned around and held up the bottle. Hopefully I'll get a nice um, check for that commercial for 500,000 people to see. You know what I mean? At the end, it was funny when Beenie Man said, big up Digicel for keeping the connection alive and, no buffering, no static, nothing, everything went smooth. And then here comes Bounty Killer. Yes, flow, slow flow. And I thought, oh boy, 500,000 people here in Bounty Killer. The Flow Network, we'll call it Slow Flow. But it was a bit shocking to me because I think here in Antigua, it would be fair to say, and I have both networks. I have Digicel and I have Flow. And I do believe that Flow is a better network. It's more steady, it's more reliable. However, that's from an Antigua and Barbuda standpoint. I'm unaware of what takes place in Jamaica, so that was a bit shocking to me, as I thought it would have been the other way around. Hence, I thought he would have been smashing Digicel, big enough Flow. Anyway, all in all, it was a great performance. It was a great clash. I really enjoyed it. I was entertained. I jumped out of my seat. I ran around. I did all this crazy shit. I bust gunshots. Yes, I did. I'm guilty. However, to the end, I was sad. And I was a little disappointed. And I'm going to explain why. Okay? Now, as a selector, I believe one of the reasons, because I just saw a video a few days ago, or maybe it was yesterday or so, with a guy saying that the authentic dancehall is dead. Okay? Or the original dancehall has lost its flavor. I believe part of the reason why this is so, the DJs are to blame. The DJs don't do their work. The DJs play the same thing all the time. The DJs enjoy playing those particular tracks that stray away from the origin of dancehall, that authentic sound. Okay, come on. There's so much music released in a day, you cannot listen to it all. So therefore, producers, DJs, radio personnel, those who break the music to the public have a duty to make sure that they keep it authentic. You understand? It's part of their duty, it's part of my duty. When I release a mixtape, it doesn't have all hits. It has music, dance hall music. And I have thousands of mixtapes, so I can talk. I do the work. I'm a living proof of doing the work. I say all that to say, I was disappointed at the end of this fabulous performance from two great icons. They decided to end the evening with One Love Bob Marley. One Love. Guys, let me explain something to you, right? Bob Marley is the king of reggae. He is the boss. However, Bob Marley has been gone for 40 years. When are we going to let go? Let alone One Love is one of the most commercialized Bob Marley tracks that you could ever find. This man has an extensive catalog with a number of tracks that are just as good as One Love. There is many other tracks that they could have played that would have pushed that same message. However, it wouldn't be an artist from 40 years ago. It wouldn't be an artist that we consider to be commercial reggae. Come on, man. Dash where that. Me say that. No good. One Love is for tours, excursions, tourists. The same thing they do with Jimmy Cliff, I can see clearly now. The same thing they do with Bob Marley, Three Little Birds. Get rid of them. Or have a balance. You could play the Bob Marley One Love, but then you could also play Chronic Skanking Sweet. You could have also played, you could have, oh man, there's so many songs flying in my head. You could have played them. You could have played Jesse Riley. You could have played Taurus Riley. You know? You could have played a brand new Lila Ike from her new album as a leading reggae vocalist. You know? Come on. So that upset me. However, moving right along. Okay? So big up to all those who logged in and all those who enjoyed it, as I did. You know what I mean? It was definitely a memorable moment. And we will hope to see a part two. Oh, I forgot. I did forget to mention very quickly that Bounty Killer's dub plays are very creative. And I definitely give him somewhat of an edge because of it. But then I also give Beenie Man certain edges because of certain things too. So I don't want to go back and forth and act like I'm on a scorecard and give you a tally and say, he won or this one won or that one won, okay? I'll leave that for other channels to do their reviews and so on. I'm going to stay in my lane. Moving right along, unfortunately, we do have to say rest in peace to Bobby Digital, okay? Now, Bobby Digital was a pioneer in the reggae and dancehall business, in the reggae and dancehall industry. And he is so important that I've decided to write a little summary about his life. So I'm just going to share that with you guys, okay? Robert Dixon, a.k.a. Bobby Digital. Okay, he died at the age of 59. Unfortunately, this was due to some kidney issues. So he was one of Jamaica's legendary producers of reggae and dancehall since the 1980s. Okay? During the 1970s, Bobby became familiar with the dancehall scene, and his love for reggae music inspired him to become a producer. Okay? He linked with King Jammies in the mid-80s and then branded off on his own 3 to 4 years later. The label Digital B was founded in 1988 and the Heatwave studio was opened, welcoming artists such as Shabba Ranks, Cockatee, and Garnet Silk. Okay? Now, this man was played a very vital and important role in a lot of those hits that you hear Shabba Ranks came with over the years. It was during these years that Bobby helped the crossover into a digital era as an accomplished engineer, hence the name Bobby Digital. Alright? In addition to Heatwave Studio, Bobby also formed his own sound system, which was also called Heatwave during the late 80s and early 90s. In the 90s, Bobby produced and worked for numerous top artists within the industry, such as Morgan Heritage, Sizzla, Anthony B, and Richie Spice. Okay, he was also responsible for the production of several classical reggae albums, with some of them still making a forceful impact on the industry. Some of these albums are Sizzla, The Real Thing, and Black Woman and Child, Morgan Heritage, Protect Us Jah. He also produced albums for Chesedek, Rash Shiloh, and a few others. In addition to this, he also produced a number of singles such as Don't Have a Dread, Morgan Heritage, Buju Bantan's Till Shiloh, and Cocotee's Moving On. Now, I couldn't help but notice, since he produced SZA's Black Woman and Child album, I would want to believe that that entire rhythm was produced by him. So the Morgan Heritage, the Tony Rebel, all of those tracks, the Cockatee, and the Sizzler. So big up to Bobby Digital and rest in peace. Condolences goes out to his family, and yeah, we hope, well, there are other great producers that have emerged since then, but we urge the continuance of the younger producers to do what they do, to look at Bobby and what he did, and to not copy, but to learn from it going forward. All right? And we step into some international news. Let's start with some hip hop. Now, Dave East was arrested by NYPD officers. That was on Friday morning, and he was cited for marijuana possession and disorderly conduct. Plus, they claimed that they were stopped because they failed to signal. Okay, Dave East has since been released, and we hope that he can stay out of trouble and avoid those kind of unfortunate incidents. Okay, we also have Roddy Rich. I like Roddy Rich, I must say. Roddy Rich has 7 diamond encrusted championship style rings worth 250,000 each, made for each of his team members. Okay, this was due to his victory in the best rap performance category for his single with Nipsey Hussle, Racks in the Middle. Okay, each of the rings sports a miniature gramophone replica on the top with the numbers 760 and 10 surrounded by many, many diamonds. I did see a video of the rings. They look really nice. And it's nice that he can take care of his crew, you know what I mean, and do something for them. I always say, though, it is better to put somebody in a position to make their own bread as opposed to giving them bread. But a gift is a gift, and I think some kind of thought probably went into that, and they should appreciate it. Okay? Moving right along, Quavo completes his high school diploma during the corona pandemic. Okay? When Quavo was going to school, he dropped out of school to pursue his music career. For those of you who don't know, Quavo is one of the artists from the Migos group, and it's very positive to see that he used his time during the corona pandemic to complete his schooling and has so since earned his diploma. So big up to Quavo, and we urge other artists to do the same and continue to pursue their education. If anybody sees this and wants to send me on a TV presenter's course or journalism course, I would gladly accept. The search for knowledge is eternal, so says Pac. Alright, talking of Pac, Troy Ave and Mysonne are currently in a beef. Over the last couple of days, there's been some back and forth on Twitter and Instagram. Troy Ave very disrespectfully telling Mysonne and his mom actually, to suck certain genitals. And we know in the States, and especially in New York, that is not a term that is taken lightly. Mysonne quickly responded. I was going to give you the full quotes of each, but I said I wouldn't do that. I just mentioned it briefly. Mysonne quickly responded saying he in no way would disrespect Troy Ave's mom. And they since have been going back and forth with a little beef since 2017, when Troy Ave did a Breakfast Club interview stating that he was comparing himself to Tupac due to something with the Irving Plaza shooting. And Mysonne came out and said he's a bozo for doing that. Since then, words have been back and forth. And we move on to our last and final topic of the day. Alright. It seems as though over the last few days and weeks, I would say, DMX has been seeking for a potential versus competitor or opponent, and he has since come up with Jay-Z. That was his first opponent, which I think would have been a great battle. I did mention that in the previous video. However, now it does seem as though hopefully DMX versus Eminem will materialize. Nori has said that Eminem is down for it and is willing to go. However, I don't think the matchup is such a great one. You know, I gotta keep it real like that. But it would be a good one. But I would prefer to see DMX versus Jay Z. That would be wicked. Or we could even get a DMX versus Ja Rule. But DMX versus Eminem, we'll take it. You know what I mean? We'll take it. So we're looking out for that one. And I'm gonna sign off here. It's a longer video than normal. Peace to all the subscribers, listeners, and viewers. And I'll be back with you with another video very soon. Peace. With Ali Representative Simmer signing out. Stay safe.